Hello YouTube, Trinity here again. Today we'll bring you another deck profile for the Digimon card game. I have a ton to do and a ton to get through, and some are a little outdated at this point. I wanted to do Edamon, Shakumon, a couple back then, but starting to get a little late for those. Maybe I'll wait till the next update, or maybe I'll just post them like Shakumon. But today we'll be doing one of my favorite decks of all time in the Digimon card game that very salty got forgotten in the last set. We got those dirty Shoutmon players and Blue Flare and Dark Knightmon, and they just forgot about us, I guess, because we weren't really in the manga. But I digress. Today I'll be giving you my Darkness Bagramon deck profile, which has been one of my main decks since BT9. I've been playing the Bagra army since the beginning. I actually got second place at local back in BT10 was the last time I went to locals till recently because I've just been really busy with work, and I got second place. I only lost to security control, then I swept everything else. And this has just been one of my favorite decks to play casually because my friend loves Shoutmon, and I have always liked the Darkness Bagramon, and I've always detested Shoutmon, even in the card game. As I've grown to respect the deck over time and like the playstyle it creates and the rainbow color scheme it has, but I still just hate Shoutmon as a Digimon and a character because of fusion. And yeah, Darkness Bagramon is just one of my absolute favorite decks. So with enough rambling on, we'll get to the deck profile. I run three copies of Darkness Bagramon. We'll move that up a bit on the mat. On play, when Digivolving, delete something of your opponent's, and then basically place 5 cards into its sources. And then when your opponent attacks or Digivolves, bounce all Tamers to the hand by trashing 5 cards into sources. And it has Digicross -3 for Bagramon and Dark Knightmon. Next, we'll bring the Lord and Savior himself. Yes, this deck is old arted out because it wasn't expensive at all because Bagra Army is not a very good deck, but it's one of my favorite decks. And I really like this list and testing. It wasn't terrible when it came. It wasn't good, but like BT9, it was all right. BT10, it was like Bagramon was good. The rest was and then it just like Darkness Bagra was cool, but we had Shine Greymon meta, and that wasn't doing anything for anyone. But on play, you can when Digivolving, look at your opponent's hand. Trash a card if they only have 1 Digimon. If they have 2 Digimon, take a Digimon on their field and slide it under another Digimon. So you can kind of put their Mega into their rookie and just get rid of it. And then we play 1 copy of Lilithmon, just for the choking effect and breeding area, and to mill and set up our trash. It's a really good card. I'm going off memory. I haven't played this deck since I think BT16 came out, and I found it. And this is based off the list that actually topped. And whoever did that, shout out to you, because I'm very happy that I was able to find someone still playing this deck because I was really trying to make it work. And your list was a very big inspiration, whoever you were. I just know of it. I don't know the person. But this is Muso Knightmon. It has Devolve, on play when Digivolving, and Digicross with Dark Knightmon and Suarmon. That's it for level 5s. We run level 4s. My favorite level 4 in the deck, and I will never take him out. We run Troopmon. I had to hold in something there. I wanted to crack a joke, but I don't think that's YouTube appropriate. But if you look at him, you might know what I'm thinking. We run Troopmon, our little soldier Digimon. When Digimon is played, you can trash Digivolution Star to gain a memory, and then when it's tries to trash in your sources, gain 1 memory. And yeah, it has save. This is one of my favorite little level 4s. Moving on to the rest of level 4s, we run 3 copies of My Apodic Reed. Mad Leomon Arm Mode. When your opponent plays, when your opponent would draw by an effect by trashing his sources, you may draw 2 cards, and then when you trash source, most of this deck is basically gain a memory from when this card is trashed, gain a memory when this card is trashed. You'll see that inherited over and over in the lower level cards. It also has Digicross -2, Mad Leomon, and any card with Bagra Army as text, so this thing technically can cost 2 to play. It also has 2 costs to evolve. And this card is insane. I would run more, but 3 is fine. We run 2 copies of Mad Leo. Similar effect, when they add a card to their hand, once per turn they have to trash that, see a number of cards they added. So it can be a good choke card for decks like Shoutmon who are trying to plus, and you just don't let them plus. You're making them break even. And again, same inheritable effect. It has Digicross -2 because it costs 3 to play. 2 Sorarmons. A lot of lists run 1. I just like having 2 just so I can get Muso Knights off Devolve more consistently. It has Decoy, Bagra Army, and it has all your Tamers can't be deleted. And just, again, when it starts trashed, vice versa. And I believe it also digivolves onto Digimon for 1 cost, which is nice. Which is our one of the Digimon. When digivolving, you may play, if you don't have Uamano, you may play Uamano. Then we run 4 copies of the new Digimon, which is my favorite one. Also in Trasky in memory. This one has a different inheritable. It has blocker. It's also a 2-cost retaliation and on deletion save. So it's kind of a low end removal. Next we'll move on to the last level 4 of the deck, and probably my favorite level 4. The promo Skull Knightmon that gives security attack +1, and on deletion you may play a tamer from your hand with a mono. And then save this card under that tamer. So again, when you craft this, you can play your tamer. Remove the rookies. We'll have 3 copies of Sound Birdmon, which is when attacking, place a card into your tamer and you do draw. Then we'll get to the tamer later, which would also draw and gain memory. Choo-Choo-Mon lets you take the top 4 cards of your deck, add a Bagra army to your hand, and a Uamano, I believe. Nope, just any Bagra army. But Uamano is a Bagra army, so it doesn't matter. Then we run one of the bread and butters, Gumdramon. It's 2 costs to play, basically with Digicross, any card with save in its attacks, and inheritable when attacking, draw. Just a really good card to draw. Cycle through, and it lets you play stuff. It just lets you draw more cards. And then we play the card that really made me go back to this deck, 4 copies of Ukomon. It lets you search the most important card of the deck. This thing is a menace, and I'm happy this one wasn't the one that got hit in the end, because, yeah, honestly, I think the other one was the problem. I think this card is starting to get phased out a little bit, but it's still an amazing card to fill up a deck. Finally, we'll move on to Tamers. We run 2 copies of Mono U. This card is errata in English. I have to double check the errata. It's been a little while, but it's misprinted. It's supposed to place a card under your tamer, and I believe it's supposed to draw you a card or gain you a memory. It's one of the 2, but it's not on the card. For some reason in translation, they just forgot to put it on here. But I know it's either gain you a memory or draw a card. And yeah. This is just another Uamano to play, and then we have the best card in the deck, 4 copies of this Uamano. When you place a card into its sources, once per turn, draw a card and gain 1 memory. And that is how you... And then force Digicross, when you would play Digimon, rest this... And by placing 3 cards under that tamer, you reduce the play cost by 2. So if you have 2 of these, and a ton of cards saved, you can basically make your level 7 a free play. And I just love this character. Next for the eggs, we're running 4 Demi-Marimons and 1 Monotomon. On deletion, draw 1, discard 1. And this one is on deletion if you have save and text draw. You could probably do you can do the other split the other way, but I think this one's better because I want to get the trash so I can set up Darkness Bagramon as fast as possible. But that is my Bagra army deck. Again, shout out to the guy who topped with the deck. I use your list as inspiration to update mine. I really enjoy it. I did change some stuff around in ratios, at least what I remember. I remember adding, like, I believe you only ran 1 Suharmon and you ran, like, a couple other stuff. And I changed your ratios a bit because I wanted to fit more my style. But I really love the deck. And shout out, again, I said a lot, but shout out to the guy who topped. It was a big inspiration for me to pick this deck up because it was sitting on my shelf and I was just waiting to bring it back out because I love playing Darkness Bagramon so much. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Bagra Army deck. It is one of my favorite decks. It's BT9. Started playing it again in BT6 when I saw that topping list to see how good it was. And it does feel a lot better with Ukomon because the main problem was always seeing, if you don't see this tamer, you don't do anything. And just having the other Uamano is really nice. And Skull Knightmon promo. There's so much little synergies that make this deck a little bit better nowadays. Well, yeah, that's it for the deck profile. I hope you enjoyed. Any suggestions, leave them in the comment down below that I can improve my videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.